Every year, as monsoon clouds gather over northeast India, the Brahmaputra breaks its banks. A river that nourishes the valley for months begins to consume it, surging beyond its limits with enough force to reshape the landscape in a matter of days. The transition from rain to disaster is often silent. Families go to sleep listening to the downpour, only to wake up as the river breaches their doorways, saturating their homes before they can even reach the threshold. From the air, the scale of the inundation is total. Entire villages disappear, leaving nothing but rooftops and the crowns of trees visible across a landscape that has effectively become part of the river. This creates an immediate, panicked triage. Families are forced to choose between what they can carry and what they must leave behind. They secure their children and their identification papers, while livestock, granaries, and life savings are surrendered to the silt. This loss happens in minutes, leaving thousands in a state of absolute isolation. With roads submerged and power lines down, these communities are cut off from the world, facing the first hours of the disaster entirely on their own. In the critical window before government agencies can mobilize, the survivors themselves step into the role of first responders. Local fishermen and laborers immediately repurpose their tools for the rescue effort. They use shallow wooden boats to navigate the new, unpredictable currents, ferrying motorcycles and bicycles to high ground, so families have a way to move once they reach land. Neighbors wade into the chest-deep water to assist the most vulnerable. They load essential supplies into canoes and guide elderly residents through the current, ignoring social or linguistic barriers to ensure no one is left behind. This spontaneous cooperation acts as the primary defense for the community. Before heavy equipment can arrive, these civilian rescues are what keep the death toll from climbing in the earliest, most dangerous hours. As the flood grows beyond the capacity of local boats, national and state-level forces deploy to scale the rescue operation across the entire region. The National Disaster Response Force enters the flooded urban centers. Using specialized inflatable craft, they move through submerged city streets to reach residents trapped in multi-story buildings that have become islands in the brown water. Where the roads have completely washed away, the Indian Air Force provides a bridge. Crews work from open hangar doors to drop relief supplies and food sacks to those stranded on embankments, providing a lifeline to unreachable areas. Ground units focus on high-stakes medical evacuations. They carry the elderly and the ill on stretchers through the mud, loading them into waiting helicopters to reach hospitals outside the flood zone. This partnership, local bravery supported by military logistics, turns a fragmented disaster into a systematic effort to protect every life in the path of the water. As the rescues conclude, the focus shifts to the long-term reality of displacement. Schools like Solmara Higher Secondary are converted into shelters, housing hundreds of people who no longer have homes to return to. Maintaining these camps require immense physical labor. Volunteers stand over steam-filled pots in community kitchens, preparing thousands of meals a day to sustain those waiting for the waters to drop. For the children in these camps, the loss is specific. One young girl watched her entire collection of school books wash away, a loss that felt like the end of her education. When a volunteer handed her a new notebook and a pencil, she said, "The water took my books, but it cannot take my dreams." In a place where every physical asset has been destroyed, that single sentence reminds everyone in the camp that their future hasn't been washed away with their property. Rebuilding begins the moment the river recedes, but it is grueling work. Families return to find their homes filled with feet of heavy, toxic mud, requiring days of manual labor just to clear a single doorway. The same network that organized the rescues now organizes the recovery. Neighbors work together to clear roads and replant ruined fields, ensuring the community can function again before the next monsoon season arrives. Survival in Assam follows a specific cycle. Inundation triggers community rescue, which is bolstered by institutional relief, leading eventually to collective rebuilding. Each year, this process repeats, and each year, the community's ability to endure and recover grows stronger. The floods may be a permanent part of the geography, but the response is a permanent part of the culture. Assam proves that while the river can destroy homes and roads, the choice to stand together and rebuild is something the water can never reach.